So this is lesson 2 on fractions and mixed numbers. A lot going on this. What we want to kind of look at to start with is just an example like 2.5 plus 1 plus 3 1/4. 2 1/2 is considered a mixed number. 1 is just a whole number. 3 1/4 is a mixed number. What 2 1/2 really means is we have 2 plus a half plus 1 plus 3. 3 1/4 means 3 plus 1/4. So that's kind of where our math is. Since this is all addition, what we really have then is just 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus then a half plus a fourth. So, 2 plus 1 plus 3, that's going to be, what, 6? Plus then, the catch is I have to add this 1/2 plus 1/4. 1/2 plus 1/4, they're not in the same family. The denominators are different. So what we do is we use a strategy. A lot of people call this the bow tie method as a quick way to do it, because it helps us get a common denominator pretty easily. So in the bow tie method, our first move is to multiply the two denominators together. So 2 times 4 is going to turn into an 8. And this, where it turns into a bow tie, is we kind of multiply diagonally. Our next step is to multiply the 4 to the 1. 4 times 1 gives me my 4, and I add to that, I do my other diagonal, 2 times 1, which gives me 2. And that creates the bow tie. And then all we really got to do is add our numerators together. So what this is really saying is 4/8 plus 2/8, or in other words, that's going to be 6/8. The only catch with the bow tie method, though, is we still got to be able to simplify the fraction. So we have to be able to recognize a common divisor. Since 6 and 8 are both even, that tells me that I can divide them both by 2. And therefore, we can simplify the fraction down to what we call lowest terms. So 2 goes to 6 3 times, and 2 goes to 8 4 times. So 1/2 plus 1/4 is 3/4. And you may just do that, like a half a dollar plus a fourth of a dollar is 3/4 of a dollar, or 3/4. So you can also use life skills. So by using the bow tie method, we're able to add fractions that have different denominators. Okay, so it gives me about 3/4. So if we put this together, that is going to be 6 and 3/4. That would be our answer. Now, if I want to use the calculator, it's a little tricky to do mixed numbers, but it is possible. So on the calculator, we have what we call the second function, and that's that green button up here. So I turn the calculator on, and I want to clear it. Still doesn't seem to be right, so I'm going to hold on the on button and clear it. Get my memory cleared. That looks better. So when I hit the second button, what we find is there's a UN over D button. Now the UN over D button is right above the N over D button. It's in green. So remember, the N over D button was from the 7, you have to go 3 up from the 7, that's the N over D. But if you notice above N over D in green is UN over D. So to activate any green function on the calculator, you actually got what we kind of go green. We hit that second button there. So if I hit the second button and then hit the N over D key, it'll give me the format for a mixed number. It gives me 3 little boxes there. So the first box, we put the 2. This is where the directional pad comes in. So I got to move to the right. That'll get me to the numerator. I put the 1 in. I now got to move down to get to the denominator, and that's 2. And then I got to move right to get out from underneath there. And then I can come back in and hit the add plus 1, and then add the 3 1/4. To add 3 1/4, again, since it's a mixed number, we have to use the green button to get to the UN over D format. So I hit the second button, hit the N over D, and it gives me that nice little format again to put a mixed number in. So again, I put the 3 in, that's my whole number part. Directional pad, so I'm over here, I went green, hit the 3, hit my right arrow, up 1, go down arrow, and then I have to hit the 4, hit the right arrow, and that gets gets me out from underneath there, and then if I hit enter, it'll give me the answer. Now notice on the calculator it gave me something a little different. It gave me 27/4. It left it in what we refer to as an improper fraction. So 27/4 means 27/4. But remember, it takes 4/4 to make a whole. So there's a lot of holes in here to pull out. Now what we can do though is letting the calculator work for us. There's what we call a toggle button. The toggle button is right above the enter key. So the 27/4 can be put into the calculator. It looks like I already lost it. Sorry about that. But now I got to put the 27/4 back in. I cleared my calculator. So if I have to re-enter the 27/4, I hit N over D, hit the 27, down arrow 4, hit the right arrow to get out beneath it. If I hit the 27/4 and hit enter, it just leaves the 27/4. If I hit the toggle button, it'll actually change it to a decimal, 6.75. So 27/4 is going to be equivalent to 6.75. It'll change it to a decimal for me. Okay. Now, if I want to, though, there's another toggle button tucked away. There is this N over D toggle button, U over D. That key is also tucked away under the green functions. If you go where the 8 is and you move up 3, you see that times 10 the M key that we talked about earlier. Right above it in green, you see N over D toggle U over D. And what that will do is it'll toggle what we call an improper fraction into a mixed number. So if I hit the second button and hit the times 10 the N key, that's going to do the N over D toggle U over D. I should see that on the calculator. N over D, U, N over D. If I hit enter, it'll change that to 6 and 3/4. So it'll change it to a mixed number for me. 6 and 3/4. So you're able to do a couple things in this calculator. So when you just basically add fractions, it may put it in the format of 27/4. Again, the 27/4 you can put in using the N over D button. That's just a normal fraction concept. Get this all cleared off again. So 27/4. If I hit enter, it just leaves it to 27/4. If I hit the toggle button, it'll do 6.75. It'll change it to a decimal. If I hit the toggle button again, it'll just change it to 27/4. If I hit the toggle button again, it'll just change it to 6.75. If I hit the toggle button again, that's 27/4. If I want the 6 and 3/4, I got to go somewhere else. So remember, above the 8, we go up 3, that's that times 10 the N, and up there above the times 10 the N key is that N over D, U N over D. And that's the toggle that we want. So I hit the second button, I go green, hit that times 10 N key, and it'll do what's above it in green. And if I hit enter, it'll give me my 6 and 3/4. So your calculator can do a few things for you with fractions. Okay? But don't forget, we also have this bow tie method to do some basic fractions as well, that we just multiply the two denominators together to get the denominator. And then we finish off the tie by cross multiplying. 4 times 1 gives me 1 of the numerators. And we add 2 to that, because there's a plus sign there. 2 times 1 gives me 2. There's my 6/8. And 6/8 is a correct answer, but a lot of times in math, those fractions will reduce on down to a lower term fraction to 3/4. So 6/8 is the same thing as 3/4. They're equivalent. But the 3/4 is the one they want. Alrighty, that's my lesson.